Perfect, perfect. All right, so today's class is the strength and conditioning class. We don't need any equipment. Feel free to turn the music on in the background. We'll just be using a mat today, and as I mentioned, maybe a chair or something to that extent if you would like for balance, okay, for balance. So let's take a big inhale. We're gonna take the arms all the way up. We're gonna stretch out those ribs, big inhale. Hands are gonna come down on our hips. Hips are gonna go back, knees are gonna bend. We're gonna tuck around and roll through the spine, rolling all the way up. And then we're gonna roll the shoulders at the top. We'll do that again. Big inhale, big lift, big circle. Hands on the hips. Hips go back. We'll take a nice tuck round and roll all the way up, standing. We're gonna bring that right knee into the chest, give it a little hug, and then switch. So we'll start alternating, moving through the hips. We'll keep our toes pointed up as opposed to down. We'll work a little bit through that shin. I'm just starting to warm everything up a little bit. As we take this to the next level, let's start to step a little bit wider and really dig in through the hips, pulling in through the waist and rib cage. We're also going to add a little rotation to warm up the back, turning towards the knee that you're lifting. So we've got about 10 more seconds. Most of our exercises today will be right around 30 to 40 seconds, and then a little break in between for transition. Last one here, let's take the legs wide, okay, just slightly wider than our hips. We're gonna bend that right knee and pull the hips way back. So we should feel a little bit of hamstring and inner thigh. We'll lift up, we'll just shift out to the other side. So a little inner thigh, little hammy. Inhale, center. Exhale, shift back. Good, we'll just continue to alternate. Fantastic. We'll take one more each side. And we're going to come through the center. We're going to bring the feet in a little so that they're right underneath our hips, and we'll do a side bend. So we're going to allow the body to come out to the side and then really contract through the abdominals to go out to the other side. Good, that arm reaching down the leg. We'll take one more each side. And then return to center. We're going to turn the palms up, an overhead clap and reach, bring them down low. Big clap, bring them down low. Good, warm up shoulders and shoulder blades. Three more. Last one. Let's take it into a chest expander. So arms go wide. They're going to cross over, one over the other, alternating. When we open the arms, really squeeze those shoulder blades back. Get a little tightness in the tummy just to hold you steady. Good, one more each way. Let's release the arms. Big shoulder roll. We're going to take the legs wide, toes slightly turned out, up and in through the navel, little tilt in that tailbone. We're going to sit down into a wide squat. We're going to look down at those knees, making sure that the knees are pointing the same direction of the toes, keeping pulled in through the belly. We're going to take little pulses here. So, little down, press into the heel to come up. Good, just little. And 5 more seconds. Keep tight. Good, let's straighten it all the way up. Awesome. All right, we're going to use the same wide legs and we're gonna add in some abdominal, okay? Add in some abdominal. So I'm gonna take that left arm up on the exhale, left leg, left arm, okay? Exhale, pull in that side bend. That's it. Got about 2 more. Perfect. Let's set up for the center and come into the other side. Raising up the arm on the exhale. Maybe getting a little deeper into that wide sumo squat. Focus on ribs and hips coming together. Three more. Next one's last one. Good. Release and roll. So we're going to set up for what I like to call fast feet. This will help bring that heart rate up a little bit more. So we'll push the hips back. We're in a little mini squat, and we're going to take fast feet. So it's little teeny tiny taps. We've got about 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick those legs out. Nice. Shoulder roll. Perfect. Hips back. Okay. We're going to come into a reverse lunge. We're going to add a twist if you'd like. We'll start right side. Right leg comes back into our lunge. Maybe turning towards the front knee, coming into center, okay? So step back, turn through the waist, step into center. Exhale as you do the twist. Inhale as you come back to center. Okay. How low you go just depends on you. And if the knees create a little challenge there, perhaps you just do a tap back instead of a full step, okay? Work at your own level, listening to the body. Good, we're gonna switch legs. So we're turning now the opposite direction, still towards that front knee. Chest is tall. So we've got about 2 more. Last one. Perfect. We'll come back to the center here. We're going to take a little stance with the hips underneath, alternating, heels kicking towards the bun. Let's go ahead and start. Now, you could take this into a little jog if you'd like to up the ante, but it's heels kicking towards the buttock. So the knees stay low, pointing down towards the floor. A little more hamstring here. So last few. Perfect. So through the middle. Hips are still back in our athletic stance. We're going to take a side lunge. We're going to alternate side to side. Let's step out, push the hips back, lift through center, out to the other side. Good, lots of inner thigh. Staying tight to the core to support the back, and pushing off on the heel to help keep the challenge into the glutes. Good, last one here. Perfect. All right, up and in. Alternating side leg lift. One side, then the other. Ribs and hips still pulling in towards one another. Option, add arms. Hopefully the body is warm. Heart rate's up a little bit. Last one here. We're going to take a curtsy and we're going to pulse it. So soften the hips. We're going to start right leg. It's going to come behind and diagonal. Body weight is centered between both legs, tight and pulled into the belly. It's a little pulse. So we put most of our weight here in this front heel. So we're pushing off that front heel. We should feel it back here in the hip and glute. We've got about 10 seconds left on this side. Good, let's come through the middle. We'll give it a little shimmy shake, and then we'll set up on the other side. Body weight comes in center. We feel lifted. When we're ready, pushing through that heel. A little curtsy pulse. Oh yeah, I can feel that. I bet you guys can too. Last few seconds. Good. So we'll give it a shake. Next exercise we're going to take is going to be a jumping jack, or you can just do those side leg lifts. Just repeat what we just did. Your choice. Hips back so we can come into a full jack. We can take side leg lifts like we were, or you can just tap out. Your choice. We've got about 20 seconds left with the goal of bringing up the heart rate again. Good, 3, 2, 1. Release. Little roll. We're going to come down to our mat. We're going to come on all fours and look for a little bit more glute. On our hands and knees, our hip bones pointing down towards the floor, extending the right leg, keeping a really tight core and a flexed foot. We do these little heel lifts, finding our push, our glutes. You can, of course, come down onto the elbows if that's more comfortable. You could also make fists for wrists. So just looking for the glute. Last couple pulses on this side. We're going to switch. We'll extend that left leg, draw in through the navel, flex the foot, and let's go ahead and take those pulses. Excellent, we're almost there. Last 2. Good, we'll take a quick child just to stretch through, and then we're going to turn ourselves over on our back. Turn ourselves over on our back. We're going to cross our left leg over our right, our hands by our side, extending the leg. We're going to lift it and lower it using the core. Option, hands, okay? Hands can be underneath your hips. That can give you a little extra support. Moving slow, exhaling as the leg lifts, inhaling as we lower. So you should feel your abdominals here. Last one on this side. We're going to release, uncross, switch, extend, draw that low back into the mat and keep it there. Lift and lower, using those abs. So last two, last one, then we're gonna roll over. Give our knees a little hug. We're gonna come back up to standing and work ourselves into skaters. Now we can do the curtsy or we can take a full skater. A full skater takes a little hop in between as you throw that leg behind and at an angle. Option to reach. Let's go ahead and start. Another opportunity to blast calories, to get that heart rate going. Last few seconds. Good, let's release. A little shimmy, a little shake. Let's loosen it all up. Big deep breath. All right, if you need a drink of water or a sip of water, go ahead and get it. We're about 15, 20 minutes or so in. So it's a good time to take that little water break. And then we're gonna come down to the mat, okay? All right, so we're gonna start on the mat in a side plank position. On our elbow, our forearm, we can come into a kneeling side plank, top leg lifted, rib cage lifted, nice and long. We have another option of taking that top leg, bringing the knee in, and pushing the heel out. That's an option. Otherwise, that leg can just rest right on the floor. Really focused on not letting our shoulders and shoulder blades punch up towards the neck. This is our next and last one. Good, we'll come through the center, bring those legs around, and come into the other side, the other leg. The bottom knee on the mat, up and in, long, option, bringing knee in, pushing heel out. Good, trying not to let the hips and the ribs sink. Last one here. We're gonna release and get ready for a push-up. We'll take push-ups to be full. They can be using that chair or on your knees. Okay, if we're setting up on the knees, make sure that chest is forward, navel in, elbows wide, squeezing the chest muscles, okay? Again, if you'd like to, you can use the wall, you can use the chair, or you can always come into full if you want to make it more of a challenge. We'll take one more really good one. Lead with that chest, push it all the way up, a little child pose. And then on the release, we're gonna shift forward and come all the way down onto our belly. We're gonna stack hands underneath our forehead, resting the forehead on the hands, extending through the legs, up and in through the pelvic floor. Right leg lifts, it lowers, then left leg lifts and lowers. So we're gonna alternate side to side with this hip extension while keeping the pelvis in contact with the mat and our abdominals tight throughout to help support the back. Good, move slow through this one. Get as much length as you can in the legs. Good, keep that low abdomen pulled up and in towards the spine. You shouldn't feel any tension here in the back. We'll do one more on each side. Then we'll release. We're going to take the hands out from underneath the head, and we're going to take the hands behind us with our palms up. Behind us with our palms up. Pelvic floor up and in, belly button touching, toes stay down. So this is triceps lift. So we're going to lift both arms straight behind us, our fingertips reaching towards the toes, focusing on getting a nice high lift of those arms. Little pulse at the top. That's it. Almost there. 3, 2, last one. Hands will come underneath the chest. We're going to push ourselves back up. We're going to work our way into a full plank for a mountain climber. So open palm or fist for wrist. We'll come into a full plank, draw the navel in, and then alternating, bringing knees in towards the elbow. Now this can be done at your own pace. If you want to pick it up a little bit and get the heart rate going, you can bring them in quicker. Just make sure those shoulders are staying stable over those hands. About 5 seconds. Last one. Let's draw it into that extended child pose for a quick rest. And then work our way up to standing. From here, hips back. We're going to alternate side lunges. So step the right leg out and then the left. That's it. Maybe even open those arms. You can always just do taps if those knees are speaking to you. Of course, you can add a hop if you've got more in you. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more each side. Good. We'll release. We'll roll out the shoulders, give a kick, a swing of the arms, a little bit of a break, and catch your breath. All right. Let's return to our mat. Okay, return to our mat. So we'll come in seated. We'll have the legs out front. We're going to look for a row. Up and in, long chest, arms extend, shoulder blades down. Pulling back, pretending like you're rowing, contracting the abdominals. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, extend it back. Good, toes are up. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Looking good. Good, 1 more. So we're going to release. Maybe hug those knees if you need to. We're going to take hands behind us with fingertips pointing towards our buns. Okay, towards our buns. We're going to cross right leg over left. Right leg over left. Opening chest, pulling shoulders down. We're going to lift into tabletop and then slowly lower. Lift and lower. So tummy stays really tight. Good. Last one. We're going to uncross, recross the other way. Turn those hands and set them back up. Opening chest, pulling shoulder blades down. Pressing through that front heel. Good. Fire in those hips. We're going to take 2 more. Last one, good one. Get those hips way up there. Good, release. All right, uncross, shoulder roll, wrist roll. We're going to lie ourselves all the way down, and we're going to come into ankle taps or ankle reaches. Ankle taps or ankle reaches. So belly pulls in. We're going to work those obliques. So we're going to reach rib to hip as the right hand reaches towards the left shoe, and then alternate. You're kind of moving on those shoulder blades from side to side, using the side of our waist or our obliques. If you need a little support for the head, you can put those fingertips behind the head. Just continue with that same motion of drawing in through the navel and pulling in through those side rib cage. Last one each side. We're going to release. Hands by our side. Legs come up with knees bent. Coming in for dead bug. Okay. Draw the arms up toward the ceiling. Right arm, left leg. Exhale, contract the abdominals. Switch. Exhale, contract the abdominals. Low back, staying in contact with the mat throughout the movement. Exhaling as we pull the limbs in. Inhaling as we extend or reach them. Good, focus on that low back, staying in contact with the mat. We'll take one more each side. Then we'll bring both knees into the chest. Give them a little bit of a hug. Roll through the neck. And then let's roll over onto our side. We're going to set up for side plank again. Bent knee is an option on the floor. Up and into the navel. You can either take elbow or extended arm. Coming into the side plank. Okay? Option. Lifting the leg, holding it at hip height. Okay, holding it at hip height. Just locked and loaded here through the core. Holding and breathing. You've got about 15 seconds left. One more big deep breath. And then slowly we'll allow that top leg to lower down. If it's lifted, we're going to flip ourselves around so that we can take the side plank on the other side. And again, if you want to take full, that's fine. Instead of having your knee on the floor, you can extend that bottom leg, keeping those hips up. Navel drawn in. Still an option to lift that top leg if you'd like. You've got about 10 seconds left. Draw in to get those hips up. Good, last breath here. And then let's slowly release. We're going to lower the body all the way down, roll over onto our stomach. We're going to take a T raise. Work our back, work our shoulders. Up and into the pelvic floor. Arms extend, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Thumbs come up wide and lower. Thumbs come up wide and lower. Good, hips are staying down. Neck is lengthened and relaxed. Squeezing those shoulder blades. Last few. Good, last one. We'll bring those hands underneath our shoulders, press up, and work our way up to standing. We're going to take lunges, okay? Lunges, wide squat lunges. Out to the side, bring it in. Little step, out to the side, bring it in. Good. So we can step, we can hop, we can add a little plyometric to it. If we'd like to bring that heart rate way up to burn lots of calories. About 10 seconds left here. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Get a drink if you need it. Take it, deep breath. Prepare for our next set. All right, you guys are doing a great job. Great job. We're coming back down to our mat. We're going to come into our forearms, into a plank. Lifting those hips high enough that we don't feel any tension in the back. Flexing the thighs, feet curled under. Thinking about the feet pulling towards the elbows and the elbows pulling back towards the feet to engage the core. Long neck, breathing. We've got about 10 seconds. Do you feel the back at all? Draw that navel in a little tighter, get those hips a little higher. 3, 2, 1. Let's come onto our side. We're going to lie all the way down on the bottom arm. Let the bottom arm hug you, and then the top arm comes over to the front. So we're going to look for some triceps. Legs can be stacked. We're going to press up through that hand that's in front of you. Good. Tummy really tight. You can split those legs if you want. Good, last one this side, then we're going to switch. Good, let's switch. Push all the way up. Throw the legs off to the other side. We lie down on that bottom arm. Top hand out front. Grab your waist, grab your shoulder. Pressing up, using that tricep. Core still has to stay really tight. We've got about 2 more. Last one. Good. Let's push ourselves all the way up. We're going to turn ourselves over. We're going to take that shoulder roll from that exercise. And we're going to come into another tricep exercise. Taking the hands behind us again, fingertips pointing towards the buns, opening the chest, navel end. We're going to just press through the arms to lift. So feet on the floor, press through the arms to lift. The elbows bend. So it's a very small movement. This is another one that you can do on the chair. Okay, your hands can be on the chair, and then your hips can drop down below the front end of the chair. Good. Think about the elbows bending back and staying squeezed towards one another, keeping the chest open. Good. Last one. We're going to release. Give those knees a little hug. And then let's lie all the way down. Feet are extended, knees bent, fingertips behind the head, twisting crunches. Right shoulder towards the left knee. Open it back up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Keeping the back on the mat, working at your own pace. Good, about 10 seconds. Good, last one. We're going to give those knees a quick hug. Use them to roll over. Come back up to standing. We're going to set up for some jabs. Work through the shoulders and hold into a squat. So we'll come into a wide squat. Up and in. Shoulder blades back and down. Bringing up the heart rate again. It's a jab front. You can get lower if you'd like. You're using ribs, waist, core, shoulders, arms, working at your own pace, but enough to bring that heart rate up, to burn those calories. Good, 10 seconds. Good, really jab and then snap back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Shoulder roll. One more. Good. All right. One more. We're going to bring up this heart rate again. Hips back. So it's a side hop. Okay. Feet close together. You could take a little hop side to side. You could also just lift the heels and do like moguls, rotating through the waist. Your choice. If you're coming all the way off the floor, let's make sure that we're sitting into those hips and bending the knees to keep them safe. Five seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, take it out. Drink a break if you need it. Coming back down to the mat for some crunches. Crunches will have elevated legs, fingertips behind head. We secure the back. Exhale, as you lift the chest towards the ceiling, doing so by drawing that navel down so hard that it causes that chest to lift. Good, about 3 more. Good. From here, quick knee hug. And we're going to come into a supine bicycle, another one that you can work at your own pace. Fingertips return behind the head. Same setup, except this time we push out the opposite leg as shoulder coming in. Good, working at your own pace, rolling from one shoulder to the other. Keeping that tummy pulled in tight. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-release. Let's take hands, place them by our hips. Option is underneath the hips. We're going to extend the legs. They can be soft in the knees. Looking for a reverse crunch. So we're going to pretend like we're reaching those toes up to the ceiling, folding into the low belly. It's very small, very small. We want to control the movement so we don't get a big sway in the leg. We're just contracting the lower abdominal to try and reach those toes up to the ceiling. Good, 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one here. Good. We'll go ahead, we'll keep the legs extended and our hands either by the side or tucked underneath the hips, your choice. Shoulder blades down. We're gonna turn heels together, toes wide. Really draw that navel in tight, alternating, leg lowering, one leg and then the other. Keeping the feet flexed. Using those core muscles to draw the leg up with an exhale, inhale on the lowering. Alternating one leg to the other. If the back starts to arch at all, don't lower the legs quite so much, or get those hands underneath the hips to support you. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, let's give those knees a hug. Beautiful. We're going to turn ourselves over. Back into our push-up position. Let's take kneeling. Arms wide, opening the chest, drawing the shoulder blades back down. Hands are at least as wide as our chest. We're going to lean with the chest for a second set of push-ups. All the way down. Exhale, squeeze to come back up. If you would like, of course, again, the chair, the wall, or full, your choice. Body moving as one straight, strong piece. Easiest way to get these arms without dumbbells. 10 seconds or so left here. 5. Last one. Let's come into our child's pose. Take that big stretch. We're going to walk hands towards the left side of your room and push out through our right hip. We're going to switch, go the opposite way. We're going to come back through the center. We're going to turn ourselves all the way over onto our back again. So we'll lie the head all the way down on the mat. We're going to pick up these feet, coming into our dead bug, second round. Fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Navel draws in, right arm, left leg. We extend, exhale, pull in. Left arm, right leg. Good, about 8 or so seconds. Making each one count. 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring those knees in. We're going to take arms out to the side, keeping knees together and feet together, drawing the back in. We're going to allow the legs to drift halfway towards the floor, keeping the shoulders down on the mat. As we exhale, we'll contract the abdominals, the obliques, to bring the legs into center. Then we'll go to the other side. About halfway down, contract those obliques, your waist, reset in the middle, and then move to the other side. Each time, maybe you even allow those legs to drop a little bit lower, making it a little more challenging to get them back up to the center. Good, a little lower. That's it. Let's allow those legs to come all the way down to the floor. Coming into a full twist to stretch. We'll turn our palms face up and then turn our head in the opposite direction of our knees. Allow the chest to open. Take a full inhale and a full exhale, filling the belly up with air, and then gently pressing all the air out before taking our next inhale. On our next exhale, we'll return the head to neutral, take our palms down, roll the knees gently into the chest, and then all the way over to the other side for the twisting stretch on the other side. We'll turn the palms up, the head in the opposite direction. We'll take a couple of big, deep, full breaths, complete exhales. Feeling good about all we've done today. Next exhale, we'll bring the head to neutral, palms down, knees into the chest. We're going to give them a really big hug, focusing on our tailbone, pressing down to the mat, releasing our back and our hips. Then we're going to put the left foot on the mat and extend our right heel up towards the ceiling. We're going to give this leg a little bit of a hug, keeping it as straight as we can without locking out the knee, feeling our hamstring, flexing the foot, pushing the heel towards the ceiling to feel our calf. Then we're going to point the toes, reach the toes up to the ceiling, feeling our shins. We'll take the calf once more, flexing the foot. Then we'll release, cross that right ankle over the left, and then grab behind that left thigh, stretching out the hip and glute. We're going to release the stretch and come into the hamstring on the other side. Our left heel pushing up towards the ceiling, tailbone drawing down. We'll point the toes. We'll flex the foot once more, really digging into that calf. Then we're going to take that crossover, so releasing, crossing the ankle over the thigh into our four square, using the hands to pick up behind the right thigh. Enjoying the stretch here, maybe even moving through the ankles, the neck. We're going to release. Uncrossing the legs, we're going to set up for a bridge. And we're going to look for movement through the spine. So arms can just rest by the side, our feet underneath the knees, one vertebra at a time. We're going to tilt the pelvis to press the low back into the mat, and then slowly start to press through the heels to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And then just as slowly, starting between our shoulder blades, we'll continue to pull in through the navel to roll down one vertebra at a time. So looking for all the movement in between each individual vertebra. So really take your time. We're going to do it again. We're going to inhale, press into the feet, scooping the hips up. And then one vertebra at a time, folding in, pulling all the way down to the mat. We'll bring the knees into the chest one more time here. And then roll ourselves over onto our side to use our hands to press us up to all fours. We're going to come into a runner's lunge or a hip flexor stretch. We'll take one leg out front, the foot coming a little further than the knee. And then we're going to shift or allow that body weight to fall forward until we feel a stretch there in the front of our thigh, our hip, quadriceps getting a stretch as well. Big deep breath. We're going to release, shifting our weight back so that we can switch legs. It helps if you take the leg out to the side and then bring that other one around front. Same thing. Body weight pulls in forward for that hip flexor. We're going to work our way into standing. So shifting the weight back some, we'll curl those back toes so that we can move the knee back underneath our hip. Hand on top of the knee. The back foot gets loose and then comes into a wide squat so that you can slowly roll yourself up to a standing so that you don't get a head rush. We'll take those shoulders, find a secure footing, and take those shoulders, roll them up by the ears, straight back, all the way down. We'll do that twice more. 2 more big shoulder rolls. Beautiful. We're going to reach those fingertips down towards the floor. The right ear pulls out to the side for a nice big neck stretch. We're going to release and come into the other side. We'll come back to our center. We're going to turn and look over the right shoulder to stretch out the neck. We'll return to center and then go into the other side. Same thing. Then bring it back to center. We'll take one big inhale here, swoop those arms all the way up, really lift the ribs. Hands are coming on, the hips are thighs, hips back. A slow tuck round and roll all the way up to standing, releasing through the spine, allowing the head to be the last thing up. We'll end with that shoulder roll. Nicely done. Thank you guys for coming out for our strength and conditioning class today.